What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the whole situation surrounding Shifty TV being flown out by Full Squad Gaming and put through a lie detector test and playing games whilst in their studio on their PC. We're not just going to be sitting here pointing out how much of a circus act that actually was. I'm going to be talking about people's opinions surrounding this. Honestly, it's going to get interesting, guys. You don't want to miss this. If you do enjoy the video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at badboybeaman. It's the best place for you guys to stay in touch and up to date. Right, let's crack on with the video. Guys, we're just going to jump straight into this today. This is where it gets extremely interesting. We're going to go straight to a Jake Lucky tweet 12 hours ago. This is a promotion video of how they're flying out Shifty TV to the Full Squad Gaming headquarters. They're putting him through the accusation test to see whether or not he was cheating. But some of the things that Jake Lucky states in his video are very fascinating, and not to mention the fact that when it came to showing footage of Shifty TV's gameplay, they used footage from Goon Squad, who does accuse people of cheating, Goon Squad who puts out footage of suspicious gameplay from some of these streamers, and Jake Lucky decided to use this footage in his promotion video. So surely the fact that Jake Lucky and Full Squad Gaming decided to use Goon Squad's footage in their promotion video for this shows that the hacker hunter scene seem to know what they're on about, right? But let's get into it, because this video I'm going to break it down and it's very interesting. From the pros that have accused Shifty TV to Jake Lucky stating that there's no way 100% to prove if somebody is or isn't cheating based off their gameplay. It's going to get interesting. Let's get into this video now.
Gaming facility where later today we'll be conducting our very own hacking exam against one of the most accused in Warzone. Shifty TV is an 18-year-old Call of Duty player. He was recently accused by a number of Call of Duty and Warzone pros.
I first of all want to point out that Shifty TV is far from one of the most accused, and he is definitely not a Warzone pro, because there isn't such thing. Although it is a made-up term these guys tend to go by, he isn't even at that level. He's competed in a couple, right? And this is now where they've built it up. They're hyping it up so much, saying he's one of the most accused. Look at the past 2 years of Warzone. How many people have been accused of cheating? How many people have been found out to be cheaters? Well, on this channel alone, about 100 people have been exposed for cheating, if not more. There are plenty of suspicious gameplay videos as well, which are deemed cheating in my opinion, and others as well. But the fact that Jake Lucky states that Shifty TV is one of the most accused is a joke. Think about all of the Warzone players like Mutex being accused, the fact that he had Cronus Pro on his desktop. Think about Z-Laner with his very suspicious gameplay, which he has never provided any answers for. Think about Diaz Biffle and how his aim is just ridiculous, and it has been for the past 2 years in Warzone. But for some reason they are putting out a video saying Shifty TV is one of the most accused, and he's only really been accused on about 5 different clips over the last couple of weeks.
From Karma to Crim6 to Huskers, Mutex and Blast, and a bunch in between.
Now let's have a look at that little section there. They've actually named a bunch of people who've accused Shifty, including Crim6, Huskers, Mutex and Blast, and a couple of others, right? There are plenty of people out there who do believe that Shifty TV is cheating. I genuinely believe that Shifty was using aimbot in the clips that surfaced when Blast actually accused him. But take a look at the narrative that's being fit. First of all, they're saying that Shifty TV is the most accused, and then using the names of Warzone streamers and CDL pros to back up that claim based on the fact that they have accused Shifty. Just because big names have accused this guy doesn't mean he's the most accused. However, some of the names in that list have had videos made about them. Let's talk about Mutex with the Cronus Pro again, and Huskers has been accused of aimbot in the past, as well as having macros built into his Logitech mouse. It's just a little bit of a circus act at this point. Let's continue watching.
The COD and Warzone space around a month ago in March during a $15,000 Boom TV tournament. And here are some of the most suspicious clips from Shifty's VOD during that tourney.
One of our boys from the Goon Squad right there being featured on a Jake Lucky video that he's putting out, or a Full Squad Gaming video. So after Jake Lucky, back when he was at Esports Talk, decided to speak down on the hacker hunter scene, saying that you can't use clips to determine whether or not someone's cheating, and actually trying to back up certain streamers, one of those being Z-Laner. He's now gone ahead and used footage from somebody who would be classed as a hacker hunter, Goon Squad, break down gameplay, they use methods to determine whether or not they believe aimbot is in use. And some of the clips that have been used in this video today, well yesterday, by Jake Lucky and Full Squad Gaming are from Goon Squad. So how can they diss what we do and then go ahead and use the footage, right?
As he's shooting this enemy and downs him here, do you see how the enemy shifts to the right? Do you see there is no delay? His crosshairs go right with him. To do this on nearly every kill, you guys, this is aimbot, all right?
Because it did appear that Shifty's gameplay was extremely suspicious on multiple occasions, we had a gigantic reaction from many of the Call of Duty community members. But before we go any further in this experiment,
I just want to point out here as well that there have been bigger reactions. There really has. But just because in the past the reactions have only come from what these guys deem as bots and casual gamers, they're not that interested. There has been more noise on Z-Laner, there has been more noise on Mutex, Aiden, Huskers, Diaz Biffle and many more than there has been on Shifty. So why didn't they take the same approach with all of these other Warzone pros as they have with Shifty? This is a big question. Why haven't they done anything about it? They will brush it under the carpet, they will call you a bot, they will say you wear a tinfoil hat and all of the other insults that come with it. Are you a flat earther, a conspiracy theorist, and so on? When in reality, it just shows that they are willing to protect certain people, but not others. Why? Because Shifty's only got 11,000 followers, and I'm sure when all this started he had half of that, and other people have decided to follow him, just to follow the drama, of course. But it would appear that these guys are classing Shifty at this point as a Warzone pro, just because he's entered into a couple of fairly decent money tournaments, and they're classing him as a Warzone pro to make it look like they're willing to call out one of their own, when in reality he isn't. He's an outsider, he's not a part of the clique, he's not a part of this top elite level of Warzone streamers who all seem to play with each other, against each other and for each other, all at the same time. So Shifty is an outsider and they don't want to let him in, but it does also appear that he has aimbot in use. So let's continue
in this experiment, I must state that it's going to be impossible for us to 100% confirm or deny if Shifty TV is hacking. There are many ways to hack, countless actually, whether it's hardware or software, and because of that it's near impossible to actually have a conclusive decision based on gameplay alone. Based on gameplay alone. And that's why we actually brought in the experts on this case and everyone involved.
So they brought in the experts, which we all now know has led to them having to end their stream early due to the fact that they found out of people in the chat the person they had hired to do the lie detector had actually had 26 counts of fraud against him, right? Whether or not they actually found out to be true or whether or not he was actually a fraudster, I'm still yet to find out. But the fact is, these guys ended the stream due to the fact that they found this information out in the chat. So the lie detector test results didn't actually come out. They ended the stream before the results came out, which we all already know. But pay attention to what Jake Lucky did just say about the fact that you cannot determine if somebody is 100% cheating or not based off gameplay alone. You have really got to pay attention to what's going on. Jake Lucky is sat there now basically stating that you can't deem somebody a cheater or legit based off gameplay. Now I think different because there are only a set amount of built-in mechanics in the game, and if things go beyond those boundaries of the set built-in mechanics of the game, you know somebody is cheating based on that, whether it be software or hardware. That is what you cannot determine based on what you are seeing in the gameplay. You cannot determine exactly what it is. You could probably narrow it down to say aimbot, but you couldn't determine which aimbot cheat provider they are using. You could probably determine wall hacks, but you wouldn't be able to narrow it down to which wall hack provider they are using. But you can definitely tell the difference between hardware and software cheats. That is a fact, and that is all based off gameplay. But that's only if you've done the research to understand how cheats work on that front, like I have. But hey, Jake Lucky doesn't seem to think that you can determine if someone is cheating or if they are not cheating based on gameplay. But he decided to bring in the professionals anyway.
It's actually Blast, who cared so much about the accusations he was making, he paid for his friend Judith, one of the main observers of the accusations, to be here, who then brought in his own Warzone friend and also accuser of Shifty TV, that being Scummin. They actually paid their entire way here, and the same could be said for the opposite side, as Shifty TV paid his entire way here as well. So what do y'all think? Is Shifty hacking? I guess today we might find out.
And they actually made all these guys pay for themselves to go over there. So they've invited Shifty TV to go and do a lie detector test, but then made him pay for himself to get there. Trying to make it very difficult for him to try and prove his innocence or not. What a waste of money, although I'm sure he'll blow up over this, even though he has had aimbot clips in the past. But one of the things I want to point out is that these guys are starting to unravel, right? There are people putting tweets out talking about how cheats can be turned off and on, something we've reiterated points about over the past 2 years on this channel. Somebody could cheat today in a $150,000 tournament, but then tomorrow they could go to a LAN event and play in public lobbies and not use cheats and still be a good player. Just as you've seen in that tweet there from Blast himself. Now he's onto something, but he is unraveling the whole community, and my guess is that a lot of these Warzone players are starting to sweat. How many people are going to start really looking into this a little bit further? Jake Lucky's already stated that you cannot prove if somebody is or is not cheating based on gameplay, and then you've got Blast stating that he could cheat today in a $150,000 tournament, but then go to a LAN event tomorrow and play in public lobbies and absolutely fry still with no cheats. And now that brings me to this point, which is that the LAN event that happened with the Winter Wonderland proves absolutely nothing. Based on the fact that Jake Lucky himself has stated that gameplay alone cannot prove if somebody is or is not cheating, and that is with Jake having Shifty playing the game in front of him on his own setup in his studio for Full Squad Gaming, and he was saying that you couldn't tell if or if not somebody is cheating. So again, does that not reiterate the point that the Winter Wonderland event that happened, which was hosted by the Backer Bros and had people like J-God presenting the show, whilst they were in a what would be deemed as a controlled environment on a LAN event, does that not prove that even if these guys competed well on that show, that they could have cheated the day before? Let's remember the fact that Blast has literally put out a tweet stating that he could cheat today in a $150,000 tournament and be legit tomorrow, and that is a fact. That is exactly what we've been saying for so long. These guys can turn them off and on as and when they please. So after almost 2 years of calling out cheaters and being called a cloud chaser and everything in between, the same people who pointed the finger, the same people who wrote news articles, the same people who made news videos about me calling pros out, are now doing the same thing, and they're now putting the icing on the cake by stating that there is no way to actually be able to tell if somebody is or isn't cheating based on gameplay, and some of them even stating that they could cheat today and be legit tomorrow. And this is the exact point we've been proving for so long, when people have come into the comment section saying, why would he cheat on just one day? Why would he cheat on just one game but not the rest? The point has been proven that if there is money on the line, they will cheat. If there's not money on the line, they don't have to cheat. If they're going for world records, they can cheat. If they're not going for world records, they don't have to cheat, and it can be turned off and on at the flick of a switch. And if their KD decides to drop a little bit, they can flick them back on to get the KD back up, and they can maintain their stats at a certain level by turning them off and on throughout. There are so many different reasons for somebody who is cheating to turn them off and on. These guys are all great at the game at the top level. Does that mean they're not cheating? Of course it doesn't. Does that mean that every single suspicious gameplay from one of these top Warzone self-proclaimed pros is legit? No, because as pointed out by a lot of people who once were against what we did here, they're now agreeing with the things that we've been saying all along, and that is great to see. If you did enjoy today's video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, you can hit that blue join button today and become a member of the Triple B fam. And don't forget to go and follow me on Twitter at badboybeaman. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!